Okay, so let me show you my glazing notebook. You're probably going to get a glare, so I'll pull some out. But this is my glazing notebook, and I can just take a glance and see what a color is going to look like. Each card has, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different glazes, and you know, here I can see just very quickly. This is what I was talking about before. This is Winsor & Newton's transparent yellow, which is PY150 Azo yellow. And this is artist grade, and you can pretty much try this in any of the different paints, and it's going to do this to you. It does not glaze well. With each layer, you know, maybe 2, 3 layers you could get by with, but by layer 6, it's a mess. It's a gummy mess. So, you know, this is not going to be a good glazing color. And also, you can tell a lot when you swatch out student grade watercolors. Sometimes when you're using student grade versus professional watercolors, you don't see a difference right away. But especially with the glazing, you can. This is Winsor & Newton's new Gamboge PY153, which is no longer available, but I bought up as many tubes as I could because it's a favorite yellow of mine, versus Winsor & Newton Cotman, which is PY153 Gamboge Hue. And with this one, you can see that you, even with the artist quality, you're not going to want to heavily glaze with this, but you can get up to 5 without 5 layers without too much problem. However, in the student grade, you can really see the difference in not just the pigment, because it's both PY153, but where the student grade colors make up the difference in price is usually with the binder that they use. Binders are not as good or as expensive, and you can really see the difference between the two. It's the same company, but the professional versus the student grade, and you can see what the difference is in that. Oh, and here's Kitty. Oh, he's gonna be mad. Yep. Okay. So that is one of the things that glazing can, even if you're a person who doesn't glaze, can tell you. It's going to show you how your watercolor is going to work in layers. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with the paints. I have the cards ready to go, and I do this just a little bit different. At the top, I'll have the name of the color, and then the pigment, and then the brand. And if the brand has numbered its paints, I put that in there. And then over here, I'll put whether it's staining or not, whether it's granulating or not. The L is for light fastness, so this one is an 8. And then I'll put whether it is transparent, semi-transparent, semi-opaque, or opaque. In this case, with the golden yellow, it is going to be semi-transparent. Okay. And I always use this to do my glazes with. This is something I found in an antique store. It is melt glass, and the lady told me that she thinks that it came from and I forget what they're called, but it's a gentleman's suit rack. Back in the 1800s, it was like a little coat rack that would have a little tray in it where they could put their tie clips or their cufflinks and that sort of thing when they hung up their suits. And I just find it really, really nice to use when I am doing these glazes, because I put a certain amount of water in each one. I usually try to use about the same amount of pigment, but with some of them, like with the green earth and the cerulean, I usually do end up putting more pigment in there just to get the same sort of a comparison. So, and I've never used pans for this before, so I've been sitting here trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I did was for my birthday, I went down to Cheap Joe's. I'd never been before. I always order from them, but I'd never been. And I got something that was going to hold my pans, because I just don't have anything for pans. So I haven't opened this yet. So this is Cheap Joe's Nomad large size tin. to put my new pans in. Let's see what this looks like. And hopefully it's going to fit the size. Oh boy, that is, yeah, if I was opening it the right way, it would open a lot easier. Not your fault, Cheap Joe. That was mine. That was on me. Okay, and I also got some magnets. And I got the Easy Quick Stick ones to put on the back. Now let's see if they, yep, cool. They're even in little sections to cut off and stick. So let's see. So I'm going to cut them off in about sections like this. And let's start with our first one, the golden yellow. Well, I might have to use some glue on the back of that. Let's see if I can get it to stick for now. Yeah, I think just have to press really hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna work great. That is awesome. Okay. So this is my first set of pans. Very exciting. Trying to figure out if I like them any better than using the tubes. It's just different. I guess it's easier because you don't. I'm not always having to get my tubes out to put some more out, and so that's nice. But it's just sort of different in how I approach what I'm doing. Getting paint all over my fingers. Doing this. That is very convenient. Very nice. And I'm usually a pretty precise person. In the past, I would have my measuring stick out getting these all exactly right, but you know what? I'm older now. Time's a wasting. I don't have time to do that anymore. And who's going to see the bottom anyways, right? And I also never set up palettes because I just pull out the colors I'm going to be using for specific projects. So I've never set up a palette before. As for putting paints in different orders. So I'm just going to put them in the order that I swatched them out for right now. My oranges, red, purple, and go to my blue, blues and green. It does take, with these magnets, it does take a little bit of pressure and time to get them to stick down good. So I'll have to see how well they hold. I might have to go back in with, I don't know, some E6000 or something. And really glue them down. Okay, so I do want my blues together, so I think I'll put them up here. That was the PB35, and this is the PB36. And I'd like to have my greens together. So, well, now it's not going to come off, right? There we go. It takes a lot of pressure to really get that to stick. I'm going to put my greens up here, I think. This is the Aquarius green. I'm really hoping that the Roman Schmal brand is going to become a little bit easier to get. Maybe somebody in the States will start selling it here soon. That would be nice. Oh, this is really neat. I'm really excited about my new Roman Schmal colors. So next, and because of time, since this has taken so long, I will probably put my glazing swatches on a different video, but I will try to link it up if I can figure out how to do that with this one, so that we can see how that looks. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this. So far, I really recommend these watercolors. I've enjoyed them so far greatly. Thanks for joining me.